lot of fun talking to the protesters with I don't know more who came to visit me in the sun on Saturday afternoon. Even though they swore at me a fair bit, they were more polite to me than the police were, who physically pushed me down the sidewalk. And when I asked the cops what offense I had committed to warrant that treatment, they told me I was irritating, which is surely true, but it's not a crime, at least not to professional, impartial police forces. Now, I recognized a number of the protesters, and some of them recognized me. I mean, it took me a few seconds, but I recognized this girl. She was the screaming Afghan who disrupted the Remembrance Day ceremonies last November in Toronto, interrupting the veterans, shrieking at them, claiming that Canada is actually trying to colonize Afghanistan or some wacko thing. What a loser. Now, she was there. We know the whole thing was organized and promoted by Sid Ryan of the Ontario Federation of Labour. He even tweeted about it to get turnout. There were guys who told me they saw me at the Occupy Toronto protest a year ago. My point is, many of these folks weren't even Indian. They were the professional protesters, the rent-a-mob, the who are we shouting at this week crowd. They were just taking advantage of all the public goodwill towards Indians and hijacking I don't know more just to be their typical Marxist selves on the street. I mean, some keen-eyed viewers contacted me after the show to tell me that they recognized some of the folks who were there. For example, Sakura Saunders and Darius Mirshahi.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm not talking to you, bud.
You're not talking to me? How come?
Because you're a clown and you distort everything, and I don't respect anything that you do. Everything that you stand for is disgusting, and I have no interest in answering your questions. That's as much as I'll say.
Now, he's not Indian, but he is a professional disruptor and lawbreaker. Here's a picture of him and his lovely wife on the official Facebook page of the blockade up in Sarnia, blocking the CN railway tracks. They're up there breaking the law. They're not Indian. They're professional saboteurs. They just use Indians as a front, as an excuse, as a cover to make their ruckus. And they were at the rally of the Toronto Sun on the weekend. Of course they were. It's their job to make a fuss. And remember this guy?
Why do you cut down Chief Spence all the time? How is that not racist?
Because it has to do with her mismanagement of band funds. Do you think she's a good manager?
I want to know why you don't honor the fact that she's on a hunger strike. You refuse to say hunger strike.
Why she weighs as much as me?
Why do you say that she's overweight and is on a liquid diet? That's offensive. Did you look up hunger strike on Wikipedia? She was on a hunger strike.
Is that more important than the fact that she squandered the band's money?
Why do you keep changing the subject? I want to know why you won't say that she's on a hunger strike. Because of you, not much of the media is calling it a liquid diet.
Is that more important to you than...
Why is her weight such an issue to you?
Come here, come on.
Why is Chief Spence's weight such an issue to you?
Because I think it's a distraction from her mismanagement of the money.
You talking about a liquid diet is distraction.
Did you notice he used the word honor there? I'll mention that in a moment. He was super mad that I kept asking about Anawapiskat and that I don't believe that the chief up there, Theresa Spence, is really on a hunger strike. Now, of course, she's not. She even admits that she has moose soup and other soup and tea and things, but I bet there's even more than that, given that she positive. It looks like she's gained weight over the last 6 weeks. But this guy was super mad that I dared to point that out, almost like he thought it might make Spence look untrustworthy or something. Well, a keen-eyed viewer identified that protester invoking my honor as Pastor Ken Symes. Well, he's a child predator who went on the internet and started chatting up someone he thought was a 12-year-old girl. The chats over time became increasingly sexual, and then Symes arranged to meet the 12-year-old girl in person. Now, lucky for us, it was police pretending to be the little girl, and they arrested the perv. He was convicted of attempting to lure a child for a sexual liaison, and he served time in jail for his crime. Now, I don't know if the other people at the protest on Saturday knew who the pervy guy shouting at me about honor was. I doubt Ken Symes told people about his conviction when he showed up. But it goes to my point that this wasn't a real Aboriginal rights protest or about policy or ideas at all. It was the rabble, the odds and ends, including some obvious street people, frankly, some people high on drugs, frankly, and some people who were Well, in one case, a convicted sex criminal. Now, talk about a good reason to keep your kids away from these leftist protests, my friends. But Symes, Amir Shahi, and the other protesters, they didn't break the law on the weekend. Not that I saw. No one was violent. The person who was the most offensive, actually, was a lady policeman named Nancy McLean. Remember her?
Obviously, clearly, based on...
Are you still recording this? You still need to...
I don't want to leave the area here.
I know, but what we're trying to do here is create this a little more safer environment. Clearly, whatever.
But why would you take me away? Because my hands are in my pockets. I'm not shouting at anyone. How come I'm being taken away?
Clearly, your engagement with the people here that are protesting.
I'm the lawful one, though, aren't I?
Well, I think at this moment, everyone is lawful. But what's happening here, clearly, you're agitating a lot of people. There are a lot of people upset with you.
So if I got more upset, would you take them away?
Well, you are one, and that makes
it easier for you. So this is about what's easy for you.
Well, it's easier for society, right? We all want to.
It's not easier for my freedom of speech, though, is it?
No, it isn't. But when you're going to aggravate a group of people like that,
we're giving a veto to the angry people.
We're going to ask you politely to just move on.
And if I don't, will you arrest me?
Have your ways of speaking, but not aggravate 100 people.
Will you arrest me if I don't?
Is that what you're choosing? You're choosing to stay here and aggravate these people?
I'm asking...
Back to you, sir. Is this what you're choosing?
You know what?
I'm going to go back to you, sir. Let's all think with a clear head. You're aggravating a lot of people. It's getting very heated, and then that
but that's not the test. It's not against the law to be aggravating, is it? Thank God.
The test is when you aggravate a lot of people, and then if it does become unlawful.
Really? Is aggravating against the law? What section of the criminal code?
Sir, everybody's upset. We don't need a quiz on the sidewalk. Clearly, we're going to talk to you.
If you're going to arrest me, go ahead and arrest me. No, seriously, go ahead and arrest me. So it's against the law to irritate the lady policeman. I mean, she's pretty irritating, too, I must say. She must have said the word clearly 17 times, and she must have touched me about 34 times. Not in a pervy Ken Symes way, but still. But this isn't the first time that lady policeman, Nancy McLean, thought she was an empress or something more than a cop. Look at this video sent in by a keen-eyed viewer through Twitter. It's McLean, the lady policeman, tackling someone who just wanted to go into a park wearing a backpack. Look at this.
Checking my bag, so we have to go. But it's an illegal explanation.
It's not
It is illegal. Oh, so you're going to violate my rights?
That's your opinion.
No, it's not my opinion, it's the law. And you are supposed to be understanding this.
As I said, it's not debatable, and that is your opinion.
My opinion? These are my rights. These are not my opinions. These are everybody's rights. And if I want to enter a public place, you have to detain me or arrest me to search my bag.
Sir, we'll call it to your smart.
Yeah, that cop warrantless search, that's not how the law works. When police read the Riot Act or when martial law is declared, then yeah, sure, some of our civil liberties are suspended, but not all of our civil liberties even then. But there was no Riot Act being read there, no martial law in effect. That was a park and some guy wanted to go in, but McLean was writing her own laws without any reasonable suspicion, without a search warrant. She plain old demanded to look into that guy's backpack while he was going through a park. Sorry, that's illegal. That is an illegal search. And later on, they just grabbed it off him, and we stopped the clip. When police conduct themselves illegally, it is no different than when you or I do. When you or I stop someone wrongfully, take his bag, look through it, that's how that clip ends. That's assault, battery, false imprisonment, mischief, theft, if they keep anything. Now, I don't know whether that guy with the backpack was charged or convicted of a crime. That's not really relevant. Sorry, just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can break the law or write your own law. I met a lot of creeps downtown on Saturday, but you wouldn't know it from the media party's loving coverage of I Don't Know More and the police who condone it, would you?